Good morning, good morning, good morning, you dear ones. A pleasure to be here with you, always. And I'm going to try to catch up here. This morning, I've allowed myself some time, but I will have you all caught up this week. So if I don't get to your questions or something, please keep submitting them, and I will. I'm going to try to, like Chris was saying, label these maybe a little better. I guess I won't mention any names with this doctor, but the case against detoxification. Now, this female doctor doesn't know one thing about health. I'm sorry, I won't mention her name, but this kind of crap that comes down here, she hasn't designated what type of doctor she is. Oh, PhD, that's even tough. All right, here's a PhD physician who thinks that detoxification is going to get you, especially with heavy metals and stuff like this. But you could run toxic, you could use imbalanced minerals through your blood and all kinds of oral chelation and crap like that, which isn't true detoxification whatsoever. And this doesn't do anything to the lymph system. This is just addressing the blood, and that's the easiest part of detoxification. But you get crap like this out there all the time. These people don't have a clue, and they're out there giving their opinions like this, and it's their right, but that's the kind of crap that people see. And this lady couldn't cure a dying animal. So this is the sort of thing that makes you sick. I gets under my craw sometimes, so apologize about that. But you know what? Detoxification is the golden key, the only thing that you can do that gives you remedy. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to prove this to you by all these testimonials you're going to see. Some are going to make your jaw drop, and I think that sweetheart with the MS makes your jaw drop, but I've got them a lot far more advanced and coming out of it. So, and we've had that for 40 years. So you couldn't begin to do something like that with chelation therapy. Some people have very serious problems from it. I know a lot of docs getting sued from using it for what they've caused with the liver and stuff. So, you know what? This is the safest way to clean your body out in every sense of the word. All these chemicals in the fruits and vegetables are antioxidants, are protective agents, and this is the best way to go there is, and the only true way to go. Not messing with your blood chemistry with chelation therapies and things like this. I get them in here every day with chelation therapies. They've done 20, 30, 40. I had a man do almost 100 chelation therapies. No relief of symptoms. So, it's a money cash cow. You know, I'm not about cash cows. You got to leave the planet, and your next journey depends on what this journey was. So, now I want to go on here. So sorry about that. That kind of gets under my craw sometimes. Not taking me off my center, but I wanted to address that. These people come on and say stuff like this. Another thing I want to address is Yoga Ranka. Thank you, my friend, with your concern about this, and I understand that, the suffering. And I'll read this because it is a sad thing, and this is true with all types of research. I mean, in the name of research, what we've done to the animal kingdom and humans is disgusting. It is criminal. I mean, I can't even think of a word that to describe the suffering, because it's the suffering that's sad here. However, I want to give a little spiritual insight here and cover this. Yoga Man wrote me the above link. Dear Dr. Morse, is a news article about a mother bear strangling her cub, then killing herself. Not wanting to endure, I don't know how you know that, but not wanting to endure more torture from humans, that I would agree, who kept them from milking their gallbladder daily for glandular ingredients, which you promote for fast healing. How spiritual is that to use one species for another? The suffering part of any creature, but this also includes plants. Let's look at the spiritual thing for a minute, because first of all, yoga, this isn't true. I don't know who gets what out of gallbladders, but it isn't glandulars. Glandulars are desiccated tissue. I don't know what, this sounds more like a pharmaceutical, or maybe somebody selling biocapsules. Maybe that's naturopathic medicine. I don't know. Maybe that's moved a little closer to traditional Chinese medicine. I can't tell you why you would extract anything from a gallbladder other than bile. You get a little cholesterol in there, but I don't understand what you would pull out of that unless you're a pharmaceutical company. Let me get you to understand glandulars a little bit. You know, Dr. Lee was a biochemist years ago and really started Standard Process Labs. At that time, Standard Process Labs had their own farms. I don't know if they still do, and they were raising organically raised beef and using humane ways to terminate their life. Now, they were selling the organic meat products, of course, to the health people who liked organic meats, and then they were using the organic glandulars, the glands in the cow, and desiccating them, using them for man's ills, because there are some people with extreme hypoendocrine gland functions that benefit tremendously from this. So this whole process was raised with that in mind. So everything was humane because people with higher consciousness obviously raises things humanely. I'm going to shift for a minute with that and get you an insight here spiritually, yoga man. Nothing dies in consciousness, and you should know this. Nothing is killed. Nothing. It is the grand illusion of creation. You can't kill consciousness. And this is the outer appearance of atoms coming together. You break them down, and atoms are nothing but states of consciousness. You know, if you look at the Supreme Being, think of it as a gigantic mirror, and then take that mirror and drop it and shatter into untold amount of pieces. That's creation. Still part of the whole, and there's still that mirror, but the pieces of a mirror is creation. And so this is the thing. No matter whether you're looking at grass or you're looking at vegetables, you know, to some, if you kill vegetables and eat vegetables, you're killing life. This is why fruitarian, in their higher levels of consciousness, was thinking the most humane living is to pick a fruit that a plant or tree bears. Matter of fact, the National Fruitarian Society back in the 70s considered anything a plant or tree bears is a gift. Well, everything's a gift. You know, it's all God. There's nothing outside of God. And it's just a level you have to get at to understand what creation really is and the grand illusion of it all. And so understand, you can't kill anything. But my guts turn with suffering, and I agree with you, this is fair. But some of these procedures are just insane, and I'm 100% with you on this. Sad to see this kind of thing. It's sad to cage any animal. I've seen little fish in little bowls like this. I mean, this is sad stuff. Man, I don't know, that's his ego. An immature consciousness, the human consciousness, very immature, very out of control, and so it's growing, but hard for me to judge that because the Supreme Being has set this all up. So hard to judge anything there, but I tell you, in the higher levels, my friend, nothing dies. You can't kill anything. You couldn't kill me, and I couldn't kill you. And the same thing at every level, even with the plants. But at another level, if you suck right into it, it appears that death is all over the place. If you let it get to you and you look at creation at this level, it's disgusting. Everything eats another. You notice the animal kingdom is full of this sort of thing. Suffering and ripping apart of the flesh of each other. This is creation. Yet, from a spiritual viewpoint, from a higher consciousness, nothing is destroyed. You can't destroy consciousness or energy. It just transforms from one state to another. I probably will freak some of you out, but I've been way back in different life forms to experience what they were like, all the way back to plants. And I can just tell you a lot of things that maybe I'll tell you on the spiritual videos. I don't want to upset anyone, because someone said somewhere where I thought Jesus Christ wasn't divine. Did anybody hear me say that? Boy, you have to listen, and not put your own thoughts in there, I think Jesus Christ was very divine, but I'm going to tell you a little secret. I also think you're very divine. Matter of fact, I think Jesus saw you as very divine as well. You know, I think the problem is that one's ego separates himself from their own divinity. And this is important. You separate yourself from God. You separate yourself from Jesus. Jesus did not do that. If you'll read Jesus' writings, get into the other Gospels, especially the Gospel according to Thomas, and you'll see a much deeper level of what you would really know as Jesus. The four Gospels is nothing, and those are the worst ones. So there's a lot more out there to what Jesus said. But every spiritual giant looked at everything as divine. I look at everything, and every one of you is divine. And if you don't look at yourself as divine, that's your problem. You've separated yourself from life, from God. And if you want to have happiness and joy, don't separate yourself anymore. Find your wholeness. Find your understanding that we're all the same. We're all linked. Doesn't matter the shape, the size, the color. That's what makes life interesting. That's why God did that. It can't just be all God. Just imagine if everything was you. You know? Yeah, I'd be bored real quick. So, enjoy that. But we don't do anything like this with glandulars. That statement was wrong, Yoga Man. And lift your consciousness up, my friend. You're a good man. And lift yourself up, or woman, I can't tell. Lift yourself up a little higher and see that all life is one. That's cosmic consciousness. And understand that in consciousness, no one dies. You only transform your shapes. That's all. All right, enough said of all that. Now let's get to some of these good questions you guys are hitting me over. So forgive me here. I'm not going to qualify this thing on Christianity. Sorry. I am a lover of all the spiritual giants and of all life and of all you. You wouldn't want me as a healer to love just you and no one else. You wouldn't want you to be the only one that gets love from the Supreme Being, right? Now, this is, let's see what this is. The reason I'm writing is because I am having a particular reoccurring problem, a bit of fear and anxiety, particularly around other people, and I am at loss to how to heal myself. They've been through, working on their spirituality. They've been through a lot of therapists. Well, I believe as souls come in here, you've been on a journey. Who knows what baggage you brought in from other experiences other than the one you're in right now. To think that you come here for 50, 60, 70, 80 years and then that's it, that's not giving the Supreme Being any type of respect for the allness of it or the journeys, So you've been on a lot of journeys, all of you. And so a lot of this can be trauma from the past. If you look at it too close into creation, like they're talking about this poor female bear, that's trauma. Trauma can lock into the astral bodies, the emotional bodies, which is the adrenal glands. They can lock. So when you come in here, soul, it says that God, everything in creation is so precisely tuned that you come into a body of soul that fits your needs of growth and strength. So if you look at your life as a process of strengthening, and if you don't allow yourself to strengthen, you will keep experiencing this thing over and over and over until you finally release it. And this is why we talk about being in the now. This is why we talk about opening. Detoxification is all levels, releasing the emotions, releasing all of this. At the same time now, you're going into your body and you're strengthening those cells. When you strengthen something, it gets stronger. Weak cells that are carrying emotions from the past, release these emotions. Those of you that are going through emotional detoxes, there's a lot of levels to spirituality, and some people call them initiation, some people call them baptism, some people call them detoxification, healing crisis. You can call all these all kinds of names, but they're processes that make you stronger, healthier, and you're going to have to go through some of that. You can go through therapies till what freezes over, but you have to get to you. You have to find your center beyond your emotions, beyond your mind, and beyond the physical body. The problem in getting into these, we get too locked in our emotions, we get too locked in our mind, we get too locked in our physical pains, and we lock ourselves that only use these bodies, we lock ourselves into these pains and into these realms. And if you have your attention on your emotions, you will always have to deal with them because you're feeding those. So this is why it's important to pull yourself into a center, into a sense of balance, or into the now where there is no suffering. I think it was Lion Man, or no, it was No Crap Guy, wrote a beautiful thing there. And it just really, these things are beautiful. And this is the thing. Get into the poetry of love and consciousness and God and free yourself. Surround yourself with spiritual books, spiritual guides. Now, someone asked me about protection from out-of-body experiences. You have your guardian angels. I try to protect all my students in all walks of their life when you connect with me. But you've got spiritual beings that are working with you, and you can always use the golden light. Surround yourself with the golden light of love and God and protection, and it is a strong golden light. There's a lot of techniques you can use, but we'll talk of that in the spiritual side there. But this also deals with that as well. I would say also get your adrenals. Your adrenals are really shot. Make sure you're not living in a house or around neurotoxins. Neurotoxins are always going to keep these sensations going in you. And neurotoxins are everywhere, from carpets to pesticides to herbicides to perfumes, colognes, underarm deodorant. I mean, there's all kinds of neurotoxins out there. So free yourself from all the chemicals of life and find this sense of purity there. And maybe I'll talk more on this later. Should I continue to watch their thoughts and feelings and just try to forget about everything? Chris, yeah. Now, this is Chris. Yeah, my friend, forget about everything. Get that mind to sit over there in the corner and call it when you need it. Don't let your mind sit there and control you. You control your mind. When you need to think, you send your mind out on the thought processes. If you need to go back into your memory patterns, send it to the Hall of Memory, and it'll access whatever you want. You don't have to think about it. Trust that you are who you are. You are the greatest and most magnificent being there is. Each one of you. All life is. Every plant, every fruit. Just the beauty of all that. And this is the Princess, beautiful woman. My face is breaking out with a rash and pimples all over it. She's detoxing. And this, I would think, is very, very important to talk about here. And that is rashes during detox. The problem is some can get pretty painful, pretty bad, very itchy. You can slow your detoxification down. The big problem when we start moving in detoxification, we start moving. Fruits are very powerful movers of the lymph. You will see this. And so is the lymphatic formulas. So when we start pushing on that lymph and pulling on that lymph, we still have to deal with the kidneys and the adrenals because that's the closed door. So sometimes your skin has to take the brunt of it. So sometimes it's better to go slower, but we don't know who those are. Because some people don't ever get rashes or anything. There's not a big percentage that does, but certainly many do. And you're one of them, sweetheart. Hang in there. You're not having an allergic reaction. If your throat's closing off and you feel like you're in an anaphylactic shock type scenario, I would have that checked out pretty quick. But rashes and pimples and stuff like this and itchy stuff, this is typical stuff. And it just shows you where your lymph system's involved, honey. All up here in the face, and you're not draining. I don't know if you still have your tonsils or not, but move on those lymph. Address those kidneys and adrenal glands. You could take more kidney and adrenals and slow down on your lymph. Or kick it up another notch and really move through this. Just go ahead. You'll be fine, sweetheart. You'll get through this, and then that'll be another healing crisis you can dump out of the way there, and you will really have freed up a lot of this in the head area. It's cleaning the head out that's really important. Or someday it could be, honey, where did I park the car? Here's another one. The pineal gland is symbolized by the pine cone and about energy culture in the world over. Yeah, this was good. Circulation formulas help. Yeah, calcification. This is about calcification of the pineal gland. remember our discussion between the two sides of chemistry, right? You guys are getting really good. So think about this. You have two sides of chemistry. One's the corrosive side, the aggressive side. One's the healing or passive side. That's the female side. So we got acids and we got base or alkaline. Now we know the body has to protect itself against acids, as it does high alkalis, but that's rare. It's the acid side that we have to protect ourselves against. So we generally do that with base chemistry, no question, including those biochemists bicarbonate, absolutely. The problem isn't too much bicarbonate. The problem is not enough bicarbonate, I'll tell you. So no matter what you see, a lot of times you can't judge what you see in the urine or what you see in the blood. You can't judge the aftermath of what's going on internally. We've tried to do that as biochemists, and to me there's a lot of fallacies there. It's like taking a piece of meat and examining it and saying this is all the chemistry we need. It's like the complete amino acid myth. You know, we see complete amino acids in tissue, so therefore we should have them. And that's a myth. None of the strongest animals follow that line of thinking. So calcifications means that your lymph is not going well in the brain area here, and that's real important to deal with, because it isn't just calcium, is it? What's the other main antacid? Cholesterol. And both calcium and cholesterol also can occur vascularly, and that means the occlusion or blockage of blood flow to whatever. And when it's in the brain, it's like, oh, that's a problem. Strokes and little TIAs and things like this ain't good. Seizures, of course, MIs, heart attacks, stuff like this, all those things aren't good, you know. So these are real important that you get that base chemistry up in there, upper circulation, excellent thinking. But I tell you, move that lymph. Move that blood up there, especially if you don't have any hair or anything. Best way to get hair is that upper circ. But move those lymphs, move the causative factors of this, and that's the lymph system. So you've got some drainage in the sinuses and things to go through here, so you want to make sure you do that if this is true that you have a calcified or a pineal gland that's calcifying. But if you do, my guess is you have a lot of other problems up there that could be serious as well. It's not just the pineal gland that would be calcifying in the head area. That lymph is everywhere. That's the scary part of this. Now, this is 1984. 1984. Was that a good year, man? I think it was. It must have been, because you liked that. Thank you for watching the videos, my friend. Let's see, you're a 26-year-old male experiencing hair loss. Now, I've talked a lot about hair loss here, and I'm going to put a man on that not only had cancer all through him, but had no hair. And I'll let him describe his journey into health for you. You'll be impressed with that one. And you can see his hair. But I've never seen anybody fail. I think, you know, we have a society, when you look at treatment-based thinking, it's not curative. So we're so used to that when someone comes in with a higher level of regeneration, it's like a shocker. You know, but it's not. Understand why you're losing hair, why you're having these problems, and fix the why. And that's what these videos are about, to help you fix the why. And this will bring you up into the highest level of healing there is, because outside of that, we're on top of the mountain, guys. There's nothing out there, you know. We're not going to get into bare gallbladders. We're not going to do the traditional Chinese medicine, nor shall I say homeopathics. There's some real, you know, the antidote for arsenic poisoning is more arsenic. The antidote for quinine poisoning is more quinine. Of course, in minute amounts, but I don't want to build up a immunity to these things. I want my body to expectorate these toxins. Let me see. Self-induced, both of my grandfathers have. Yeah, I mean, if I said what was really genetic in alopecia or balding, I'm going to say is the kidneys and the adrenals and the poor ability to move lymph. Yeah, you could argue the fact that down the road hair follicles and things, or the cells of the scalp, become weakened by genetics and all that. Yeah, I would concur with that as well. But remember, regeneration, you know. By the time the cell's too weak to regenerate, it'll be terminated. And we see a lot of that with the kids, you know, being born with only one kidney now and stuff like that. Tissue can't even replicate itself, and I don't know what to say about it. Again, nothing dies, nothing's hurt at one level, and you have to get to these higher levels and get away from too much of what's going on at this level. That's my problem sometimes. I get too trapped up, and then I pull myself back and go, oh man, I got trapped again. You know, and this is part of our problems. Creation loves to trap you, and then the drama gets better. You know, the less aware you are, the drama is better. You know, when you're not aware that you're not really a part of the drama, that you're only the observer of the drama, like the observer of a movie. When you forget that, the drama does get better, but you also get lost, and I don't like getting lost anymore. It just, that has its own kind of thinking there. Let's see, been on Raw. Let's see, runs the last possible to reverse baldness. Yeah, I've said this many, many times. Now, you're also skinny. And this is other thing to think about here is why are you skinny? And that's going to be malabsorption or pancreatic weaknesses. Why would you be malabsorbed? Would that be connected, guys, to the same thing balding is? How would malabsorption be tied to balding? Let's think. Nothing but a bunch of cells and two fluids. Which one? Oh, you guys are good. Lymph. Lymph interstitial. What is it? Interstitial lymphatic constipation. One of you guys wrote that down. I thought it was really nice that you observed that. You guys are really good. This is a lady from Bulgaria who has MS. That's why we put that video up for you guys. Realize the power. People are always asking me for testimonials because they have fear. Knowledge isn't enough sometimes for people. And it's like, okay, this is why. So forgive me for the testimonials, but I really want to show you the power your body has to rebuild itself. Don't ever be afraid to enter the world of raw foods. I can't imagine people are afraid of raw foods. You're afraid of the living. I mean, but there are a lot of people out there. So, honey, you get after this MS. I don't mess around with neurological problems, nor with people who have what the word called cancer. I don't mess around with these cases. Thanks for the encoding and the thing on that. I don't know if Chris is going to look into that. I appreciate the advice on that, reducing it down to 1/10 stuff. I'm an old farm boy. I don't understand any of that stuff. Someone mentioned about the yellow in the eye making the blue eye green. Yeah, that's sulfur. You know, when there's only blue and brown eyes in humans. And when you have an eye that's any other color than blue or brown, that's your lymph system. And the lymph system can get so chronic it can turn a blue eye brown. Colors like reds and oranges are iodines and sulfurs, a lot of chemical spots in people's eyes. Medical doctors commonly refer these, as freckles. But they're not freckles, they're chemical drug deposits. And you especially see in those people that don't move their lymph well. When you start examining hundreds of thousands of eyes, you start understanding that the lymph is where even the blood dumps it's unwanted into. So when you think your blood's high in something, your lymph is much higher in these problems. And so, yeah, any orange or yellow in your eye would be sulfur. Any reddish tint would be iodine, and then I don't know out from there. They claim that mercury's a silver color, but I haven't identified that myself. Let's see, occasionally I've been vegetarian. Good. And now your eyes are pale blue now. Good. So you're detoxifying. And that's a good thing because your eyes will change. You know, this is the thing I was going after this Jensen lady who took Dr. Jensen's stuff, who's slandering him. Ellen or whatever. Excuse me, honey, but if you can't get an eye to change, you're not a good healer. And this is true worldwide. A lot of German iridologists can't get eyes to change. Well, you don't understand the deeper levels of detoxification, because the whole premise of iridology is that it shows you not only genetic weaknesses and weaknesses of cells, but also shows the lymphatic system. You clean the lymphatic system. These are not just indications that the eye is disposed. It's real time here. Iridology is real time. And I get all my eyes to change. I've never seen it. If you can't, that's a serious problem. So, yeah, good work on yourself there. You're doing good. Always, let's see, always in the now. God, I love that. Pretty picture, too. I do that. Purple, the etheric. Now, here's one. Geez, I can't even read that word. Huh. Went to the ER and has this diagnosis now. Jesus, they are recommending surgery. We are trying to destroy the stones naturally. What kind of stones are you talking about here? I never heard of that word. Anyway, remember, stones are a product of acidosis no matter what they are and where they are. Product of acids are anionic environments. And anionic environments are coagulated, dehydrated environments, which basically means stones. So, you know, to unstone yourself, detoxify. That's all there is to it. Move those fluids into a more base medium, even though your lymph must maintain acids and remove those. Yeah, this one person asked me about teeth cavities and remineralization. Decay is acidity. It is. And you know what? The Minnesota School of Dentistry is starting to realize it isn't the sugars, it's the acids. You know, and of course what these things, it isn't the bacteria. You know, people are freaked out, even dentists, about bacteria. Well, I have news for you. Bacteria are only hungry little people. You know, but it is about the acids. So the Minnesota School of Dentistry has sent me some stuff on acids, like Gatorade having a pH at 2.85. I think Gatorade ought to be fined for that or something. I mean, of course, I'm a freedom guy, so I don't know. But misinformation like that, willful misinformation is not good. To me, it's a borderline criminal there, especially when people are taking Gatorade to rehydrate, and it has a pH at 2.85. There's no rehydration to it. I heard the National Football League got wind of that and a little upset. I don't know that to be factual. But that's acidic, and I always wondered why I tasted it one time, and I always felt acid in my stomach, and I thought, well, this isn't alkalizing, and I was right. You know, intuitively, when you follow that, you really do better. But that was out of the Minnesota School of Dentistry, so Gatorade, see, you might want to, if you disagree, you might want to prove it. So yeah, get your lymph moving. One of our biggest problems we face, my family lost all their teeth when they were in their 20s because of the lymph systems, you know, not moving well and draining well. And they just chews them up. Of course, those that did were smokers. So that also brought acids right into the tissues as well. You can't bring acids in and expect a happy ending. Not going to happen. But then, you know, people are not educated. You don't hear people talking about acids. You don't have your medical doctors lining up and telling you about acids. Look at these dietitians. I mean, this is one of the most shameful areas that we have is dietary concepts. The dietitians, I love you all. But you got to get with this. You got to get out of this American Dietetics stuff. Those guys should have been sued, jailed, and everything else for the years of misinformation, the training of people. Look at the lunches in hospitals. Look at the lunches in schools. And by the way, look at the lunches in nursing homes. This is disgusting stuff. There's nothing healthy about it. Even the latest chart was better from the American Dietetics Association. You still saw that little glass of milk. You still saw grains. You saw all the bad food combinations. I mean, it's like unreal. Do you ever see an animal run and get all these different sources of food, pull them together at one meal and eat them? You don't see that. You see mono-eating, and you rarely see animals eating outside of their zone, only when they're living, like a primate family living I saw the other day, living on an island. They had to become omnivores. They had to be. That's the only way they could survive and eat. Okay, I'll give that to you. This is a rough place to be, this level of creation. So, you know, let's all get into the healthy vein. Look at that lady, that black principal up in, I think it was Georgia or Alabama. She said, my school is one of the lowest academically. I have all these sick children all the time. So she learned about the raw, and she took all that crap out of the school, and she put in a lot more salads and fruits for lunches. Now her school is at the top of academic. The sick days are almost non-existent, and now other schools around the country are getting wind of that and calling her. I saw this on some special, and I think, oh, I was proud of that lady. That's what it needs. Get out, let all that crap go, and step up and do the right thing. And this lady deserves a big pat on the back for that. Now, Rosalind Perils, let's see. Love the series. Thank you. Much love. Much love to you, my dear lady. You're a sweetheart. Rosalind. Let me see here. Thank you for the comment on the Morse code, guys. I love you all. And you write some pretty stuff, guys. You do. I'm going to address some scoliosis and things like that. You know, when you're all going to the acid side, and when you see the acid side, you're going to see the loss of calcium, obviously. We talked about that earlier on the pineal gland and stuff, but we've talked about that on other videos. You're going to see the loss of structure. That's spine, that's hips, that's knees, that's connective tissue, that's vascular walls. Herniate, gives you varicose veins, spider veins, hemorrhoids. You're going to see the loss of structure, hernias, prolapsing of uteruses and bowels and bladders. This is all the loss of a lot of calcium in the human body and the inability to put it back. But I've never seen a case. I couldn't, I'm going to try to get this Fox News special. It was a short thing, but on a quad, a C4, C5 quad that had extreme scoliosis. At the same time, he had fractured his upper right femur, and they didn't set it, so it healed at a 28-degree angle, bulging his upper thigh here. And so he was severe scoliosis to the right, fractured upper right femur with a 28-degree heel, pulled his right leg up 2 inches shorter than the other leg. Total raw, a lot of herbs because I'm working on his nervous system. He was down 36 years, long time down, at age 16, broke his neck on a trampoline accident. And we ran a radio show for years together. What he accomplished was phenomenal. Reading his testimony will freak you out. But in his 11th month, his wife, he worked at the sheriff's department down here, and in the 16th month, his wife went to put his clothes on so he could go to work, and she said, "Oh my God," and he said, "I can't believe it, I know." His back pulled itself straight, and his leg pulled itself straight after healing at a 28-degree angle, pulled itself back straight again. I have the x-rays right over there in the corner. What an incredible, and I've seen this over and over and over again. We had a young female spinal bifida born without L4 and L5. That's the kidney vertebrae. 3 years raw, she has her L4 and L5. How do you explain the power of that type of healing? It's incredible. God, consciousness, health. I love it. And that's what you shoot for. It's diligent, it's raw, it's hanging in there. But the end results are fantastic. Unreal. Unbelievable. These are undeniable cases. They've been filmed by Fox News or ABC News. They made the local newspapers. So they're for sure there. Now, let me see. This lady was asking about the synovial fluids and stuff like that. You know, when you get bone on bone, it's a lot of work to get yourself back. I haven't had tons of experience in this because most of the people that come in here are near death. And it's more with the cancer syndrome. Even though we don't treat cancer, our whole focus is health. Still, these are the problems that man faces. They have a very serious epidemic, and I use that word lightly, but out of 5 people, 4 purportedly has cancer. Take a look around and count how many people around your office or in your house. Out of 5 people, 4 supposedly have it. A few years ago, I had a young man in here with a prostate cancer. He said, well, and this was a lot of years ago, he said, well, you know, I have 5 brothers and 4 of us have cancer. That was a lot of years ago. So we have serious issues here in lymph and kidney failure and the adrenal glands, and we got to awaken to this and fix this up. We can't treat anymore. Can't wallow in that pig slop of treatment and diseases anymore. Can't do it. You like my analogies? All right, so the interstitial fluid, synovial fluid and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think I addressed that yesterday or the day before in videos. Yeah, I mean, all these fluids have an impact on that and our cleansing and oils like cholesterols and stuff, fatty acids and stuff to keep that. Would using your Heal LT help with a bladder infection? You betcha. I mean, you really want to drink that for a bladder infection, but understand that infection is acids. Infection is the lymph system and probably in the wall of your bladder. So you have to be careful. You can get cysts growing on the bladder, so you really want to move your lymph system. Get on the kidney formulas, use the Heal All teas, start getting into the fruits and the salads, and I'd take Parasite M just to keep the fungus down to a low roar. Absolutely. Also for females with atypical cells, that tea is for that. I made that 35, 40 years ago for atypical cells. And I would douche with that tea. Really clean yourself, strengthen the vaginal walls. Really important for atypical cells. It'll convert them in a week to 2 weeks. Very powerful. But remember, this is an interstitial lymphatic problem. And that's a kidney filtration problem and tied to the adrenal glands. This is a big area of weakness in humans. If you put the colon and the adrenal kidney up, that's 99% of the people or more now. And then of course you can reach then, and now we've got the thyroids, the pineals, the pituitary. Now everything else is going down in people. Let me see here. Where's my time? Oh, my time is up. Oh, man. Well, I apologize. I've still got a bunch, so I'm really going to have to be doing these all week. So I hope you don't mind all these long videos, but I'm going to have to get to them. And I promise you that I'll come in the morning again early, and I'll really get on these questions even more. I won't address this other stuff anymore. I'll get right to your questions here. And someone asked me about a grape fast, and oh, you wanted to give me a cyber hug. Oh, I love those cyber hugs, and I'm giving you all a cyber hug. Let me tell you, I love you all for enduring me and putting up with me while I'm working through this and helping. So I do still have a lot of questions. This one was real important. Yeah, she's ears popping and feels full. She's guessing the lymph fluids. Yeah, I mean, you're breaking loose, sweetheart. And you could use some ear candles if your ears feel too clogged up. Do about 3 candles per ear. Open that up a little bit. That should give you some relief with that. The colon is I'm going to find colon problems in you. So work on your GI tract, work on your kidneys and adrenals, move that lymph. And all this will break loose and stuff like this. You're getting small bumps all over. That's your lymph. And so, yeah, you really want to move that lymph. And again, that just shows you your kidneys, you're moving faster than your kidneys can do it. But keep working on the kidneys and the adrenal focus. If you want to slow down a little bit, okay, you know, but keep working on that kidney and adrenal. Keep pushing that lymph, and that door will open for you, and all this will break loose. And that's important. Like I said, do some ear candling for yourself, and it'll be very helpful. Gosh, I hate to run. I got so much. I'd like to sit here a whole day. I've got Friday, but I don't know what all I've got. But I could spend a whole day with you here getting caught up with your questions. So, again, if you're in a stat need or an emergency need of a question to be asked or answered, please call the staff here. I know we're very busy, but we're here to get it to you. And somehow, some way, we'll get you the answers as quick as we can. So don't panic. Most of these symptoms are all detoxification symptoms. The only ones you really have to be concerned with would be an anaphylactic shock, which is the throat stricture closing, and we've only seen it once, and that was within a circulation formula, and it was dealt with a particular tree that this lady was allergic to, and she had a little allergic reaction, and that was probably 30, 40 years ago. So I've never really seen any of that, but your body, your skin is going to respond. That's your third kidney. You're going to see a lot of responses, sinuses breaking loose, ears popping, even tumors growing, swelling of the lymph nodes. We don't like too much of that because it shows how backed up the kidneys are and how you're not filtrating the lymph well, but ultimately this will all break loose. Hang in there. It's a heck of a journey for some of you. You're doing very well. I'm always here for you, so just relax. Bye-bye. Have fun today. Okay. I hope this is the right angle because I just found that a client didn't show, and I can stay with you this morning and cover a lot of these things, so I'm going to do that. So I hope this is set. I took the camera out, and then this is really not my my thing here with setting up the camera. So I hope you can see me well. I hope I'm within the groove here. Let me go over some of these. Matter of fact, I think I'll turn this around. Hang tight here. And let's see. That way you can see me. Yeah, good. Good. Okay. Now, yes, I just addressed that with that. Now here's candy pop rocks. Wow, that's weird. That's far out. All right, autoimmune hepatitis. No such thing as autoimmune conditions. Those are the people that don't know. Hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Now, you know, we tend to blame viral loads and bacterial loads and things on everything like that. Just realize that, again, this is your lymph system in the pancreas, in the liver. If you've been doing a lot of alcohol or you've been doing a lot of acid foods, of course, you're going to set up inflammation in the liver a little quicker through the blood a little bit there. The liver takes a blunt of this. So, yes, that can be hit from the blood, but as you change your diet, you're going to hit your lymph system. You're going to clean your liver out. You're going to clean your gallbladder out. But remember that if it's a lymph system and not the blood in your dietary habits, you're going to reach over here and you're going to see your GI tract involved as well and your pancreas. So, again, any type of hepatitis, you're going to detoxify. We have everything from hep A, B, C, all the way to cirrhosis and liver cancers. Liver's a great organ to regenerate, so you're not going to have a problem with that. But it takes raw foods, and it takes there's great herbal formulas for livers out there, and go in that direction, and it'll fix your liver right up there. There's no autoimmune to that. A lot of people get into these, oh my God, interferon shots and stuff like that. You know, the medical doctors need to take a dose of their own stuff. This never cures anything. And we see a lot of this really making people sick, hurting them even deeper. If your liver enzymes are elevated, that means you're breaking down their liver. If your liver enzymes are elevated, that's interstitial lymphatic constipation. So your alkaline phosphatase, which is also going to be kidneys, but generally if you see your liver enzymes going up, you're going to see your alkaline phosphatase going up. You're breaking down your liver. Well, what's doing that? It isn't virals breaking it down. No, it is acids breaking it down. And that is, again, coming from your lymph system. So you really want to take after this, sweetheart, and really move that lymph, get on those kidneys and adrenals and stuff like that, and you'll be okay. Your liver enzymes, they were over 1,000. Woo-hoo-hoo! Wow. Yeah, that's a blower. Listen, you really got to get after this. If you're smoking anything, gotta find a buffering agent like water, other things, vaporizers, anything like that. And also, if you're drinking anything, you need to take a break. Take a break from proteins for right now and really get on a good fruit diet. I'd even get into the subacids, stay away from the acids for a while. A lot of melons and stuff like that. Beets, real strong beets, beet bulbs, even if they're pickled. Beets are very powerful in the liver and kidneys. Dandelion greens, very powerful, even though the root's better for the liver, but still, just really hit your green drinks and stuff, help clean that liver. But a lot of apples, excellent for the liver, and of course grapes. And really start detoxifying myself real quick. That's important. And you probably are working on a genetic weakness in there. To see those enzymes go that high, you're probably working on some genetics in that as well, sweetheart. So you just have to strengthen, clean and strengthen. You're back on 100% raw, perfect. Let's see, she's 80% mainly fruit, but my eyes have become very yellow. Whoo! Is that the white portion, the sclera? If that is, boy, you've got a lot of bile toxicity there. I hope your bile ducts aren't blocked either. Could be swollen, though, from all this acidosis or inflammation. So always keep yourself checked, but I would keep moving through this detoxification syndrome. I'm going to say that it'd be amazed if you didn't have a bunch of gallstones and liver stones. The liver can become full of stones as well, so it's real probable here. So you wouldn't want to do a liver gallbladder flush right now. I'd get my liver enzymes down and all this first, and then do yourself a liver gallbladder flush, but I would definitely wait before I would do that. You also use rebounders and ionic foot baths and stuff like that. Okay, but still, I mean, you got to fix your kidneys and adrenals. Bottom line, get into that colon, fix that colon, and get yourself on some herbs for the liver. That'd be very important. That you also address the GI tract and that you address your kidneys and adrenals. Those are the core issues at why that liver's doing what it's doing there, honey. Let's see. Lately, my vision is really bad and my hair is thinning. Well, remember I said that the lymph system is systemic, head to toe. And so this is what's happening to you. Your lymph system is just backed up in the head. You could get cataracts or glaucoma, depends. Glaucoma, someone asked me about ocular pressure. That ocular pressure, again, is like glaucoma. That's lymph pressure. That's not blood pressure. That's lymph pressure, and it's the worst kind. It's the acid kind of lymph pressure. So yeah, cataracts are cholesterol plaquing, and so you've got all this going on, and then it can lead to MACD and retina wrinkling, and there's all kinds of names for what goes on in that area. But this also affects your brain, pituitary, pineal, ability to rest, the loss of hair. All of this is all coming from the same thing, sweetheart. So really get on your lymph system. This is where the herbs are invaluable at helping you at a much faster pace than the diet if you can afford it. Can you please tell me what you need to do? Yes, so go on down that road, sweetheart. You'll be okay, but you really got to get on this one and be diligent and get those liver enzymes down to 15 to 18. That'll be fine with me. I don't know where you're at now. I've seen them in the hundreds for sure. Very common. But you don't want to go down that road anymore, or you'll break down your liver. And you probably have a little bit, but you know what? You're now learning how to fix it, and you're on that road, so you're going to be good. We're always here to help you guys. This person made a comment about digestive problems. He's had a colonoscopy and esophageal tests come back bad. Still suffering with bad acid reflux with weird feelings in my arms. I have no insurance. Also prayers for healing. You know, we see what we have in the back here to help you with. We have so many people asking us for help. Got a lot of rich friends. A lot of rich friends here. A lot of rich clients, and nobody seems to want to put any money toward our foundation to help people. So we'll do our best, my friend, let me tell you. But even if we seal the Heal All tea, I'll see what they'll do here, what they've got back there. But again, you could be burning all the way back to the spine. You know, it's a lot of lymph pressure up in here. This does very suggestive that your lymph system's really backed up in the gut wall, and that'd be in the esophageal wall, that'd be in the stomach wall. Those things you couldn't see. You could have high sulfur. Get in a mirror, get a big strong mirror, get a flashlight, see if you have orange around the pupil or yellow around the pupil. If you do, that's sulfur constantly burning you. That's from sulfa drugs. Look at that. If it's a true acid reflux from hydrochloric acid, you quit all meat, all beans, all nuts. You get away from all those things anyway, and start cooling everything down. The Heal All tea is good for you. You can use aloe. Fresh aloe is best, but there's aloe vera around. If you're real tight on money, find aloe vera plants. They're sweethearts. They're here to help you. And so you can take and scrape the leaf. A little bit of suffering going on for the plant, but you know what? The plant loves it because it's here for you. You have to look at the spiritual side, and I know how plants think. So just scrape that off of there, and it's here to help soothe and coat and help you. So you could do that, of course. You could get some tea. I mean, chamomile's really for smooth muscles, but it could be used a little bit as an anti-inflammatory. Marshmallow slippery elm, of course, excellent for that. Even if you have to do throat lozenges to help with that. A lot of ways like that. Get away from any harsh foods, cooked foods. If you have a hard time with vegetables there, juice them, eat slower, eat smaller meals more often. All these things are better anyway to help you with this. So there's a lot of ways we can help you with that, my friend. So apples would be excellent to help with this. If it's sulfur, you're just going to have to keep pulling that out until it's all gone. Lymphatic, that's stagnation of the lymph system. That's going to go back to your kidneys and adrenals, and you're going to see all the adrenal issues, the low steroids, the low neurotransmitters, all these things like that. You want to get this out because not only ulceration, but then you can get into all your cancers with this. So yeah, you want to get that out of you real quick. It's been too long, and you can be burning back to the spine. This is affecting the nerve function down the arms, or it's just your lymph tight back here in the shoulders. Again, a lot of acids can suppress nerve function, make numbness going down the arms and things. Might want to go to a chiropractor, check your back, make sure your spine hasn't pulled itself out with this lymph stagnation. Very common. Okay. Let me see. Oh yeah. The guy reminds me of Jeff Bridges. The man who stared at goats. I never saw that. And I love Jeff Bridges. The guy's something else. I love that guy. Especially when he made that deer come. Oh, that was a movie. But, you know, I love that guy. So I never saw the man who stared at goats. But I hope that's a good thing. I think I found myself staring at goats. I know we didn't raise them, but Dr. Jensen raised them, and I stared at his goats a while. I said, quit drinking the milk. Yeah, oh well. All right, here's another one. Do you believe a raw liquid diet could heal pancreatitis? Sweetheart, this pancreatitis, of course, again, go to the pancreas. What is the pancreas made of? That's right, a bunch of cells and two fluids. So when you see an itis, whether it's pancreatitis, hepatitis, or liveritis, colitis, inflammation of the colon, inflammation of the pancreas, inflammation of the joints, Arthur's in the house, you know, all these things. Acids are in the house. Get the acids out of the house. That's the lymph system, sweetheart. And that's probably saying you also have it interstitially in the colon wall. And so it's hard for me to tell with your picture if you're malabsorbed from that, but you look a little skinny down below, real possible here that it's affecting your ability to absorb your food as well, honey, and also digest your fruits and vegetables. If you're seeing pieces of fruit or vegetables not being digested in your stool, that's a problem. And I still wouldn't take digestive enzymes. I'd slow up, do more juicing, get into the pancreatic herbs, and clean up the colon, kidneys, and adrenal glands. And those are all herbal formulas. When I say those things, I mean get a formula for those things, and it'll help you to get better. But you want to get better with this one. I get a lot of pancreatic cancer in here. And I won't use the word curable in terms of a disease, but when you go on our health programs, people with pancreatic cancer doesn't seem to have it anymore. There's been a few passed. I remember I had the superintendent of the New York City schools, and I won't tell you about that one. He should have never passed pancreatic cancer, but he couldn't get away from his wife. He emotionally couldn't get free but to kill himself. Some people kill themselves because they can't deal with their emotions. Oh, well. Let's see here. Now, you guys make some good comments. I love y'all. You know, I think we got a good group on this site. I love all you subscribers. We got a good group here. Keep it going. I don't mind you keeping me in line. You know, I don't. I don't have all the answers, but I spent a lot of years as a Y guy, so I hope I have some of them for you. If I can get you set on the right path and not let you go crazy. I've been through a lot of things in my life, both spiritually and not that you can separate the physical from it, but I've tried a lot of things, been a lot of places, traveled a lot of journeys, and so I can just tell you my experiences is all I can do, and also show you what I've been through with the tens of thousands of clients the world over and what I've seen and experienced. This isn't my thinking or what I think about something. I only tell you what I observe, because outside of that, I'm in the realm of truth. Outside of that, I don't care what you hypothesize, what you assume. You know, amazing in law, I saw how many lawyers and judges work with the rule of assumption. There's no such thing. What's the facts? Remember Friday, just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. That's what I am. What's the facts? What's the bottom line? And that's what you're getting here, what I've experienced in clinicals. I don't care what people think, what they've read in other books. What is it on active human beings that are suffering with these problems? And that's what you're getting from me. Let me see here. Oh, polyovarian syndrome. You know, I'm seeing that in the kidneys as well. Polycystic kidney syndromes and stuff. You're seeing that all over the place. And again, what are we talking about? You know, here we go. You guys are just getting smart out there. Yes, it's the lymph system, and it's going to chew up the kidneys. I'm seeing a lot more. This lady was in yesterday with kidney syndromes, and again, same thing, just different location. But I looked in her eyes. She had some big genetic kidneys. And again, this is just coming out of her line. Her brother has it, her dad has it, her grandfather has it, and maybe her great-grandfather. So she's been a victim of a line of ignorance that no one helped them, no one told them how to turn this around, and they've had suffering down through it. Now she's suffering, and I told her, she's a young, beautiful woman. I said, before you have children, to fix this problem, don't pass this anymore. Because this is getting out. She has some work ahead of herself because she has genetically weak kidneys on top of just having cysts. It's one thing to have a tumor. It's another thing to have deterioration or the breakdown or the weakness of cells. You got two problems going on. You got to fix them. So same thing with you, sweetheart, is this polyovarian syndrome, polycystic. Again, cysts. Move that lymph. That's kidney and adrenal problems. Going back to that again. Move that lymph. Get the kidney formulas, honey. Get the kidneys and the adrenal glands. Depression. This could be slipping from a parathyroid weakness now. A whole different thing to just having cysts on the ovaries. Could affect your estrogens, yes, but that estrogen is more ovarian. Systemic estrogen is really more adrenal, fat cell, and liver. So your ovarian estrogen to me is uterine estrogen and progesterone, exclusive club there. So again, of course, you could be working over again with the adrenals, but depression is really more a calcium utilization problem. But you're extremely overweight. So, sweetheart, you don't look extremely in the picture here, but I tell you that your adrenal glands, and maybe with a little thyroid too. So if you're cold and everything, that's thyroid, perk your thyroid up. This is a case where chronic cases where glandulars come in here. These animals were raised for this. These animals knew they were raised for this. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot more knowingness if you get away from this human consciousness than you realize. Plants know, animals know. You know, we humans have lost the knowingness and intuitiveness of ourselves as spiritual beings. And so we get caught in these emotional issues. And yes, there are some that's ridiculous, the suffering and the ridiculous thing man does. Humans are disgusting to me at some point, at the things they're willing to do to other creatures. Look at China, and I look at these travel channels, and all they put snakes on the grill and cook them while they're alive. Oh my God. In the name of what? Yeah, I don't know. You know, ridiculous. But that's the planet you're on. And if we judge too much, then we have to talk to the Supreme Being about it. What were you thinking? But remember, to have a world at this level, you have to have the extreme poles of positive and negative. You can't have just a lot of positive and no negative. At this level, it's impossible. It's just not going to happen. That's not the rules of the game here on this planet. This one comment was about pH strips that are 7.4, both urine and saliva. Really, you don't want alkaline urine. That's showing you're losing your electrolytes. Your urine is supposed to be filtering. That's for when you pee in a jar. You want to see snow in there, snow blizzard. You want to see sediment, or what I saw in a lab the other day, mucus strands. Absolutely, you want to see that. I've never seen a lab comment on mucus strands in urinalysis, but this lab did. I'm glad they're looking. Yeah, you want this in there. When you see this in there, then wow, you're moving your lymph. And then you start to see your tumors, your lymph nodes go down, everybody's going down, everybody's going back to normal, and then you'll do well with that. So real important. So keep moving on that lymph, because there is a point when you go on raw that your urine, especially if you're not filtering, your urine will become alkaline. If you're filtering, your urine won't be alkaline because you're not going to be losing your electrolytes in that manner. You're going to see acid urine in the low 6s preferably. Some people, what was it, alkalize or die? This guy felt 5.5. Well, that's a common urinalysis, and at that they lose their kidneys. So I think 5.5 is even too acidic myself. Yeah, this was nice to comment. Is this Steve? Are you Mr. Crap? Is that Steve or no crap? If that's you, let me know about that. Beautiful stuff there you wrote, man. This is quite involved here. This is about which berries are more alkaline and faster in cellular regeneration. You know, I would prefer these type of questions to leave it to yourself, because this is like which is better, an apple or an orange. I love them both. You know what I mean? All nature's full. All these things, all these berries, blackberry, wild blueberry, cranberry. I don't like cranberry. Elderberry, oh, I like that. Grapes, muscadine grapes, yes. Black raspberry, yes. Black chokeberry, never heard of that one. The wolfberry, absolutely. Sea buckthorn, never experienced that. The Acea. I love all the fruits, most of them, fruits, berries, and melons. The only one I do have a problem with, of course, is going to be the cranberry. I for some reason, I've always had bad vibes against that one. But you know, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. But all your other berries are just so good. Not to knock the cranberry people, but that just for me, that one just wasn't what I like to get into the grapes and things like this for the kidneys and stuff like that. Cantaloupe, watermelon. I think watermelon is powerful, but the yellow is a powerful color. It is the what they call the causal plane color. That's the past, present, and future. The watermelon red, aggressive, of course. That really gets things moving. But these little fine points like that, that's too much intellectualism, and that's going to cause you too much energy loss. You know, when you start thinking too much and worrying which is better than another, you're actually wasting your energy. Because who cares? Tap into your intuitiveness of what your body wants. And then if you say, oh, I think a cantaloupe today, then that's what you have. If you say, well intellectually, that might not be as good as... No. Now you're bringing yourself down. You're losing energy. You're not going to get healthy because you're worried about which food is better in the raw foods. And so that means you must quiet your mind down, my friend. Quiet your mind. Set that mind over in the corner. You're too intellectual. Come back into the now again. Relax. Keep it simple. Relax. And eat intuitively. You want this? That's what your body's telling you. Then you do that. Okay? Let's see. You're talking about the joints, and I mentioned this yesterday. Gonarthrosis. Again, everything is regenerable. Everything. You just have to learn what breaks it down. Well, what side of chemistry breaks it down? Acids, of course. And so that's important to know about that. And again, of course, that's kidneys and adrenals. That's your lymph system. You're going back to that. When you see your knees and your hips go, your kidneys are the causative factors of it. This is the lymph system. Sometimes you'll see more people with upper torso lymph problems than the lower extremities. I was talking to a lady like that yesterday. She had more upper extremity problems than lower. I don't know. You know, maybe that the colon is tied into why you see more upper than lower. But eventually you'll see the knees and hips go as well. And this is true with polyovarian syndromes and polycystic kidneys and blah, 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 blah. You're going to lose everything else because this system is body-wide. This is systemic-wide. And there's nowhere it doesn't touch. And when it's backed up in the main eliminative organs, it starts to become backed up head, literally to toe. And you will start losing all this stuff in you. Let me see here. Remove hip. Let's see. Some persons are advised by doctors to remove the hip. Hips put on prostheses, artificial hips, because people. You know, I tell you this. There are times when you've waited too long, and the joints are too difficult to repair for you to have a quality of life, and that's when the allopathic community is highly advisable, especially good surgeons. You always want good surgeons. So all you surgeons out there, make your art your passion. And I've seen some bad stuff, and I wouldn't compromise my integrity as a surgeon to do a surgery that is just not ethical. Tying a stomach around a baby's esophagus so he couldn't throw up is not ethical. That should have been a little bit of a jail time because it ended up killing the baby. So this is not good. But when you're talking about new hips and things, I'm telling you, we have a lot of seniors down here in Florida. They're not going to change their diets totally. Then they're going to have these replaced. Even if they did, some of the times, it's a lot of work. When you're talking about a deteriorated hip or knees, that's a lot of work for the body to regenerate. And what do you do in the meantime? Sit around and do nothing? So, yeah, we're in a situation in the human race where we have to be open to each of us. This is why I might be down allopathically, and I am because of the tremendous amount of deaths and suffering that's going on there. Take that out of the mix, knowledge up, and now you've got a good system that can help in so many ways. And surgery is a key way. Trauma, key way. And I'm telling you, our burns, allopathically, the treatment of burns is barbaric. You don't treat burns the way allopathic people treat burns. You have aloe tubs, burdock leaves. You can grow new skin when the skin's burned completely off. You don't have to take skin from another part of the body. You don't have to constantly scrape skin. The things they put humans through with burns is unreal. But these are some of the places that allopathic medicine can learn a great deal about naturopaths and about botanical medicine, if you use that word, things like that, of how you regenerate tissue. And that goes for the burns particularly. I feel so sorry for these people because you can pull the pain right out of a person. You don't have to stick them on these high pain meds, destroy their nervous systems. I mean, this is all ridiculous. The way that's done. So we need good people, but keep in mind, if you need a new hip and you're not willing to be all raw for several years, and I mean, there's a lot of work to this. It's all financial. So sometimes, I mean, that's why humans are where they are. So, okay. I want to get rid of this one. I've had this one around for a while. Let me see. Yeah, I addressed this with this. You were craving salt there on a long fast, 70-day fruit fast. That's good. Good job, man. I love that. Salt pools, I love them. I have a salt pool. I mean, it's the best you can do. I'll tell you this, Colin. Perfection is just an area that if you shoot too high, I think if you walk with balance, it's better off. But for those, balance can be a 70-day fruit fast. That can be a good balance. So, you work with what you need in the moment. That's the key there. Here, thank you. Detox Miracles. Thank you so much for your comments, all of you guys. My father, here's another one, sweet thing here. My father is 56 years old. He is growing a huge belly, and the fat accumulates mostly on the belly, around the arms and neck. He eats meat, dairy, grains, and yeah, I don't know if I addressed this with you before, sweetheart, but of course he's going to have aches and pains all over the place. He's getting lymphatically stagnant. He's getting acidic. He's not going to be happy. He's lost his joy. Something's taken your father's joy away from him. He needs to get his joy back, and that's really important. Sometimes it's hard to get joy back in a relationship that you might not tell people you're not happy in, or things that have happened to you, but we all have to get our joy back. So tell your father he needs to get his joy back and start loving himself and taking care of himself here, or he's going to get himself in trouble, lose his prostate here and everything else. So anything that you can do to help him with that way, real important. Some of the guys lose their joy. So some of the ladies, of course, we all lose our joy. A lot of things on this planet that helps you to lose your joy, and some people lose your joy for you. So, I don't know what to say about that. There's a time for each one to wake up and to start loving themselves and then loving others. Hard to love yourself, and the best way to love yourself is forget about yourself and become God absorbed. Becoming God absorbed is knowing yourself. It is. It's knowing who you really are. That's the key. It's an interesting doorway. But you almost have to forget about yourself to start knowing yourself. But this is from the ego viewpoint. There's a lot of processes to that. So your father needs to spend time with himself, enjoying himself. Your dad, if you're listening, go have some fun somewhere. Take yourself somewhere by yourself and spend some time with yourself without anybody else. And just get to know who you are again. I've done that many times where I had to go into the woods. I had to go somewhere where there was nobody else. And with no TV, no cell phones, Club Med it, and really get to know who you are again, my friend. And start listening to your daughter about how to eat. All right. Digestive enzyme dependency. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. Well, like I said, you have to be careful there. Digestive enzymes. Ooh, you used a bottle of 90 capsules. And here's the problem. If you haven't been on digestive enzymes, it doesn't matter. Get the pancreatic herbal formula that we have. It'll really help enhance the pancreas. Get on the raw foods. If you're having a real hard time digesting, eat smaller meals more often. Get away from vegetables. They're hard to digest in the first place. If you're going to use vegetables, use vegetable juice. That's why we invented juice extractors. And get into the green drinks if you want. But get into foods that you, and then super chew. This super chew. Just chew, digest here, and then let your body take care of what else. And use the pancreatic formula. At the same time, get into the why you're having pancreatic problems. Get into the GI tract, clean it up, get the kidneys on, get the adrenals, turn on the kidneys, start moving your lymph, and all this will pull you around and out of that. And listen, this was interesting. Eating more fruit has really helped my cravings for refined sugar. There's a case where that would be against the traditional thought that sugar feeds fungus. Fungus or mold only grows on fruit when it ferments. Remember, fungus is a fermentation issue. That's why breads and cheeses are much more craved for fungal heads, than fruit. You don't crave fruit when you have high fungal problems. You crave starches and fermented things like cheese. Oh, lemonade, you're a sweetheart. Let's see. Yeah, let's see what you said here. Yeah, you're a good soul. Love you, honey. Let me see. Get herbs. Yeah, you made a comment here, sweetheart. I wanted to address this. I've never seen us not be able to get herbs in California. You know, some of these countries, the government's really insulted their people, like Germany, Sweden, that signed this World Health Organization Codex. Canada's in a fight right now. Canada, stop. Respect your people. The United States, you think about this, you're going to have a power coming after you. This is not going to happen. You know what? This has to be stopped. The control of natural products by a government or by treaties and things. Forget that crap. You know, there's something crossed the line. There's certain things, government, you cross the line. Now you're going to have the people come after you because you've got to be kept in balance, and that's the key. You know, you got to keep your government in control. You can't let your government control you, and this is what's happened. So now people in Germany are looking around going, whoa, I can't get the things that I need to help me. You know, that's serious. And that's a serious power control, and this is, you know, that's what this is this level of thinking. Unreal. Egotistical, narcissistic people, unreal here. So I've never had a problem getting our herbs anywhere. We get them almost in every country, except for those with Codex and, of course, China. Have our ways. China, when you wake up to the power of what you can do, you'll love this because I know you care about your people in ways that people don't realize. Okay, so here's a question. Oh, yeah, I think I answered this. Which is better, green or green lemons or limes or yellow lemons? Whew, too much thinking. Lemons. Let's just pick. Green or yellow? I like yellow. All right, that's good. That'll answer that one. You know, I mean, don't use your mind. Get out of that. This poor soul's had their gallbladder removed. Well, keep your liver healthy. Remember, while you lose your gallbladder, your liver's still there. It's still involved. You probably have liver stones as well. Clean that liver out. But to clean the liver out, you got to clean the bowels out. And to clean the bowels up, you got to clean the kidneys and the adrenals. I'm going to keep marching around that little circle. And once you get it, you got it. And then that's your main focus. If you got money, you go after that. You go after upper circ. You go after brain and nerve. You go after whatever else you want to go after. You have fun with this. You have fun with herbal formulas. They're your candy in a candy store. They're your Willy Wonka chocolate factory. The herbs are everything, and you can use them in every way. They love you. That's why they're here. They love you. This is someone may ask about being a slow oxidizer, and I think I did talk about that. And that, of course, we refer to thyroid in terms of oxidation when you get hair analysis. So when you're hypo, you're a slow oxidizer. Hyper would be a fast oxidizer, and so forth. Well, you know what? You kick up that thyroid. You can use glandulars, or if you don't, I'm okay with that. Use your thyroid stuff. We have a lot of herbs for the thyroid, bladderwhack, and etc. A lot of seaweeds, but that's because iodine is well known to be a good thyroid stimulator, if you will. But those foods also have the calcium, interestingly, right, to perk up that the thyroid and parathyroid uses to repair the human body. So cool stuff how God made everything that way. Low stomach acid, well, then stay away from all protein. You just stay away from protein. Interstitial lymphatic constipation in the gut wall, in the small bowel, large bowel, clean all that up. Get those kidneys and the adrenals going, sweetheart. Get that lymph moving, and you'll be good there. Let me see what else you said here. Low pancreatic enzyme, same type of thing, you know. Do smaller meals more often. A lot of fruit. Get into your herbal formulas for those different tissues, and you'll pull yourself out of that. Be glad to help you if you need it, sweetheart. I hope this is filming. I didn't have Chris to help me restart it up, so I hope we're filming after all this. I've done that. I filmed several times in the very beginning, and we found that it wasn't filming. Oh, it was disheartening to spend an hour talking, and it wasn't filming. So let's see. This 25-year-old, let's see. She recently moved to Philadelphia to pursue nursing school. Good luck, sweetheart. Nursing's a good profession. The problem is that when you wake up to this, you start getting sickened at your stomach. I have a lot of great friends as nurses. I'm familiar with, we have a Holistic Nurses Association I've mentioned in Sarasota, several hundred good nurses. My significant other is a nurse. You know, a lot of good nurses, but frustrated because of the treatment concepts and the use of toxic chemicals. It gets very frustrating, you know, something you into home health care or something like that. But you can take those degrees and move in and become a great healer. And that's what you will be, a great healer, honey. And that's what you want to focus on. This could be a man. I don't know. I think the princess would indicate that it's a female. Let's see. My underarms have a very pungent odor. Yeah, it's the proteins. I tell you what, you're on raw foods. I think most of you realize that you become odorless. Matter of fact, your fluids start to kind of taste or smell like the foods you're eating. But to be honest with you, that smell is protein. You want to clean your body out to where you have a sweet smell under the arms, where you're not breaking out on the skin here, on the face. That's all your lymph system with whiteheads, blackheads, pimples. That's all your lymph system, honey. And you have a lot of putrefaction in your body. That's why you have the smell under the arms. Most people realize when they go on raw foods, they start to lose their body odor. They start smelling good again. And this is true with all your fluids, including your periods. Everything clears up better and better and better and better. So all the body odors clears up, and your stool doesn't stink, and your stool doesn't stick. It's only starches that make your stool stick, you know. You should have a nice bowel movement, sit down, it's out. You didn't even almost know you had it, up and gone. That's raw food eating for you. Texture of my skin on my face is rough. Yeah, I mean, you're obviously, I don't know if you still have your tonsils or not, it doesn't matter. You're not moving your lymph. You're also going to find colon problems. Whenever you have any problem up in this area, always colon is going to be involved, particularly transverse bowel when it comes to head problems. So always work on your GI tract, your lymph system, and go after those kidneys and adrenals there. And a lot of mucus she's having. She's had a series of colonics. Well, start using your herbs. I think you're going to be a lot happier. Your basal temperature is 96.6. Ow! That's cold. Well, you're involved up here. You know, all the pimple stuff is showing your lymph system's backed up. You're having suppression of the thyroid, either from the thyroid itself or the pituitary suppressing that, honey. So you want to take something to enhance the thyroid. Again, you can do glandulars or you can do your herbal formulas for that. Get your lymph system moving. She's been doing a lot of green juices. Parsley apple's good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. To be honest, I haven't felt tired since I moved here. Maybe my body is adjusting to a new territory. Yeah, it's hard to say there. She did just jump from a SAD to a raw. I like your thinking. Slowly transform. You're going to make a good nurse, but I think you'll make a better healer. And because you're going to have, you've been grounded in both sides. And I think when you take a journey into one side and you already know this side, it's a mind blower, and it really brings a sense of urgency and understanding of what we're doing to ourselves as a race and what we need to do to correct that to create a new utopia. And I don't like to use that here because you have to have this level in creation. There's plenty of utopias, there's plenty of heavens, there's plenty of levels to experience beyond this world. But it's sure nice to have a little better experience here. I will have to say that, that's my attachment side, to this area, of course. And what about people with acid reflux who can't eat fruit? That's an important question. Again, as I was talking earlier about using the Heal All tea, using aloe vera or aloe vera juice, start getting this out of you. Get away from all proteins. You're burning probably from interstitial lymphatic constipation. Move those lymphs. Use the slippery elms, the marshmallows, the mulleins. Use these anti-inflammatories as healers and acids. Get away from that if you have to. Stay away from your acid fruits. Do your subacid fruits. Chew slowly. Do little foods more often. Things like this. Use your teas, use your herbs, get into the kidneys, promote your adrenals, get more steroids, and start detoxifying that body, because that's the only remedy for this. Not Prilosec, not any of these things that have long-term side effects. You want to address the causative problems so you don't end up with esophageal cancer, stomach cancer, things like this. This is all about acids and what acids do to you. So address that in that way and you'll be okay there. All right, I'm going to run. Thank you. I've got a lot more filmed on this. So I thank you so much for listening. And you all have a good day. And have fun today, okay? And keep going after your health issues. All righty. Bye.